Most people know the story of Cain and Abel, two brothers. One killed the other. But do you know why Cain murdered Abel? It wasn't over jealousy alone. It wasn't about fame or wealth. It was over worship. Genesis 4:2-5 says, "Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a worker of the ground." In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground, and Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat portions. Both brought offerings to God. But verse 4 says, "The Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard." God accepted Abel's worship, but rejected Cain's. Why? Hebrews 11:4 gives us the answer. By faith, Abel offered to God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain, through which he was commended as righteous. Abel brought his best, the firstborn of his flock. Blood was shed. It was an act of faith, trusting God as provider. Cain, on the other hand, brought some of the fruit of the ground. There's no mention of it being the first or the best. No faith, just a ritual. Worship without faith is empty, and Cain got angry. Genesis 4:6-7 says, "The Lord said to Cain, 'Why are you angry? If you do well, will you not be accepted?' God warned him, 'Sin is crouching at the door. Its desires for you, but you must rule over it.' But Cain didn't listen. In the very next verse, he takes his brother out to the field and murders him. The first murder in human history wasn't over money, power, or revenge. It was over worship that pleased God, and worship that didn't. Think about that. Cain didn't hate Abel for being his brother. He hated him because God accepted his offering. And instead of changing his heart, Cain eliminated the competition. Today, people still get angry over true worship. When someone really honors God with their life, others who are faking it feel exposed, just like Cain. 1 John 3:12 says, "We should not be like Cain, who was of the evil one, and murdered his brother." And why did he murder him? Because his own deeds were evil, and his brothers were righteous. Cain's story is a warning. Fake worship can't hide forever. God sees the heart. He knows who worships in spirit and truth, and who's just going through the motions. So ask yourself, are you more like Abel or Cain? If you enjoyed learning about the Bible, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment about what story you want to see next.